Black history is American history, right? It is Black History Month, so here is another feature highlight of Black history at its finest. I don't know if you can see my shirt. It says the Motown Sound. Then you have everybody from Diana Ross to Gladys Knight and the Pips to Junior Walker and the All Stars to the Originals, Stevie Wonder, the Supremes, Jackson Fives, and more. Where did I get this amazing Motown shirt? From the Motown Museum in Detroit. I sure did. And also when I bought this lovely t-shirt from the Motown Museum gift shop. First, look how thick this is. I was given this book as a complimentary gift. Berry Gordy, To Be Loved, generously donated by Motown Museum. MotownMuseum.org. All right, so that's what we're talking about today for this Black History Spotlight. I want y'all to do your Black History homework. Y'all already know. All right. We're talking about the Motown sound. Let's just talk about first how it transcends all races and color. Back when there was a time where we couldn't even travel to tour out in the open. We couldn't be served at some restaurants. Back in the Motown early days, we had to go around the back. We had to get the food to go. The buses were damaged. People were threatened. All of this, Smokey Robinson talks about this too. So many of the artists talk about this when they did the Chitlin Circuit tours and they couldn't be in, they used to call it race music. They couldn't be in white areas performing black music, but if they were, and if they had a crowd, half of the crowd had to be white, half of the crowd had to be black, and they were black and separated amongst one another. But one thing for sure, two for certain, folks of all races and nationality love themselves the Temptations, the Supremes, Diana Ross, Smokey Robinson, that Motown sound. Wait a minute, Mr. Hostman, wait. And I just want to say, the Motown Museum, this is going to be, I saw them last year, it's going to be the last year before they change it into the new building. So the building that I was in where the Motown Museum was or is right now, that's where they recorded the music that we all know and love. We got to see the mics, the sound. I have it on my YouTube channel, so make sure you check it out. I did a whole review and video of the museum. But we got to see the time cards with the people who worked at Motown that checked in. We got to see the cigarette machines and the vending machines. We got to see the control room, all of that. So it is legendary. And I stood there where I saw the mics for the Temptations. Come on now. Come on now. Y'all seen the Temptations movie 50-11 times? I mean, I seen that Temptations movie so many times. I can quote everything. And it's just amazing what Motown contributed. All right, so Motown is an American record label owned by Universal Music Group. It was founded by Berry Gordy Jr., Tamla Records on January 12th, my daughter's birthday, 1959, and incorporated as Motown Record Corporation on April 4th, 1960, right? It was a combination of Motor City and Town. So y'all know how they say Detroit is the Motor City. So they did the Motor Town instead of city, hence Motown. It's become the nickname for Detroit, where the label was originally headquartered. Y'all know that. So Motown played an important role in the racial, as I said, integration of popular music as African-American owned label that achieved crossover success. What I tell you, I didn't even read this, and I'm telling you. And in 1960s, Motown and its subsidiary label, including Tamla Records or Tamla Motown, the brand used outside of the U.S., were the most of the Motown sound style of soul music with a mainstream pop appeal. Motown was the most successful soul music label with a network worth back then, listen, $61 million. During the 1960s, Motown achieved 79 records in the top 10 of the Billboard Hot 100 between 1960 and 1969. Following the events of the Detroit riots in 1967 and the loss of the key songwriting production team, Holland, Dozier, and Holland, if you don't know who they are and the music that they made, do your Black history homework, your Motown homework. All right. They that year overpaid disputes. Gordy moved Motown to Los Angeles, California. Motown expanded into film and television production. Lady Sings the Blues. Come on now. Diana Ross. It was an independent company with MCA Records brought in 1988. Polygram purchased the label from MCA in 1993, and so on and so on and so on. But the beginnings of Motown, Berry Gordy's interest in the record business began when he opened up a record store called 3D Record Mart, a shop where he hoped to educate customers about the beauty of jazz in Detroit, Michigan. All right, so the Gordys already had several businesses. The Gordys were an entrepreneurial family long before Black folks were doing that. Although the shop did not last very long, Gordy's interest in the music business did not fade. He frequently went to Detroit downtown nightclubs, and in the Flame Show bar, he met a bar manager, Al Green, not the famed singer Al Green, who owned a music publishing company called Pearl Music and represented Detroit-based musician Jackie Wilson. Gordy soon became a part of the songwriters with his sister Gwen Gordy and Billy Davis, who wrote songs for Wilson, right? So we go on and on and on. In 1957, Gordy met Smokey Robinson, which is his best friend, who at the time was a local 17-year-old singer fronting a vocal harmony group called the Matadors. Gordy was interested in doo-wop, the doo-wop style that Robinson sang. In 1958, Gordy recorded the group's song, Get a Job, Got a Job, and answered song to Get a Job. Y'all remember that? Y'all got to look that. That's some old music by the Silhouettes, and released it as a single, so on and so on and so on. In 1958, he co-wrote so many other songs. Gordy looked into, all right, let go now, because this, Detroit and Motown. It's a lot of information here, and I'm trying to cram it in. But from 1961 to 1971, Motown had 110 top 10 hits. Top artists of Motown label during the period was the Supremes, including Diana Ross initially, the Four Tops, the Jackson 5, while Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye, and the Marvelettes. The Miracles had hits on Tamla label. The company operated several labels in addition to the Motown imprint, right? So in the 1960s, I'm trying to think even where I want to go. Let's talk about the Motown sound. What is the Motown sound? It's crafted with an ear towards pop appeal. The Motown sound typically used tambourines to accent the backbeat, prominent and often melodic electric bass guitar lines, distinctive melodic and chord structures, and a call and response singing style that originated in gospel music. In 1971, it was written that, now this is talking about the Motown sound, that it consisted of songs with simple structures but sophisticated melodies, along with a 4-beat drum pattern, regular use of horns and strings, electronic limiting and equalizing to give the overall production distinctive sound, particularly effective for broadcast over AM radio. So they had a plan. Motown, Berry Gordy, the Motown sound. Do your Black history homework. That's who I'm spotlighting today for Black History Month. This is Kendall Anise, the Remix Coach, your fave life coach. Get a book and learn about the contributors to Black history. Black history is American history, y'all.